So I just removed the radio, and now I need to put it back in. Might help if you have a second set of hands, but I had knock-in. I've just checked the video, and yep, they hadn't bothered to put these clips onto these clips here. So obviously they were knocking like that as I drove along. So my car isn't as noisy as I thought it was going to be every bump. So when I put it back, I've got to put these in, and just remember these clips obviously this is balanced on my lap, so I need to be careful. These clips need to clip down. I may have it the wrong way, but actually I may be wrong on that. They may not clip on there, but you got the wire there some way or another, even if it's just clipping the wires into them black things like that, just so they don't knock around all the while. I'll do that. Then radio goes in, you screw in the screws, clip, and then fascia back on. Let's just do this step by step. Now when putting it in, something to bear in mind, this little rubber on the back of the radio has to go into this hole here. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little hole in the plastic bar at the back, just here in the middle. That goes in there, just shove in, and then it's to pull the radio at the back. Stop one more, you can see it in focus now. That stops more rattling obviously, but if you don't get in there, you ain't getting the radio in. Radio's in, nicely lined up. Something to note as well, I'll take it back out. I may be able to take the brackets off this radio for my new radio. They look like they're in the same sort of configuration, so I'll look at that when I put my new radio in. So that rubber, I don't know if you can see it through the hole, but I can see it through the hole. So just slide in, push in, and then it will sit straight back onto these. I'll put the screws up here carefully. I didn't want to scratch everything, but I've got a load of wires for my dash cam and that ready to go back in. So just put the 4 screws on first, then I'll get the screwdriver and tighten them all. Like I say, just tighten it up with a screwdriver. So the screws are on. Just double check the radios are nice and secure. You don't want it banging about. Next thing, obviously keep your tools somewhere they ain't gonna stab anything. No one's coming in, they're not gonna stab. It's up here, it's not gonna stab. So it's all safe, no one's gonna come in and sit on it. I know it's there. Just be careful, because these fascia panels, whilst you can get them on eBay quite cheap second hand, they usually got a load of scratches on them because they are quite susceptible to scratches. So I'll just hold it, then I'll use my other hand, plug that in. Jobs are good, and just clip straight back in. And then slowly start, carefully, but with a little bit of force. I don't mean whack, a little bit of force. Just use your finger to push them into the hole, because they do kind of spring out those clips, so you need to use your finger and wiggle it around all the way down. start from the top, work to the bottom. Let's say lift up, in, and then down. And like I say, this interior is quite cheap. It's a cheap car, so you have to be careful that when you're doing this, you're not scratching it all off. It takes a little bit of time, just nice and slow, no rush. Better to spend an extra 10 minutes than have to buy a new interior. You can see that, I think. Let me just turn the light on, just hopefully you can see it then. Like, got to wear my finger, so you need to just use your finger. This one needs pushing in, and then that's in. The same with this side, just push it in. We're not all in one go, we're working down. And I'll finish this off camera, because I need two hands. You need one working this side, one working that side. So that took me 2 seconds once I put the phone down. Turned out this one wasn't going up. I had to flex it up. I'd pushed this one in a bit too hard, so I had to pop that back out, push the bottom in. Then that, well, I didn't pull it all the way out, but just so as it had a little bit of give and flex here, so as I could push that one up and in. Then the middle one went in, and then this one went in, and then clip, finalise. So start at the bottom, push it in about halfway in the middle, so you've got that hook there, so it can still flex out. Do the bottom 3, and it's on. And this is I only picked this car up yesterday, and this is outcome. Just so it's like, oh, it's not lined up and that. It's a cheap car, it's not perfect. I mean, my car, this one, that one is top of the range. It's like 13 and something new, and it's no different to this. I mean, this one it's 9, something like that, 8,900. It's got manual, what's it? We've got aircon. We've got fingertip controls. We have got Bluetooth, 2 speakers in the front, wires for the back speaker. But it's a basic car. You get what you give, like, basically. But for the money, compared to a basic entry level Corsa. Oh, and sorry, this is an LPG car as well. So I've got half a tank of fuel, and I've used half a tank of LPG to do 200 miles of driving. That's like £10 of LPG for 200 miles. So so far so good. But like I'm saying, it is really flimsy plastic work. Although I do find that these vents, that's a 17 plate, this is 70, 2017, 2020. These are better made. They're nice and thick. Like, when I push them, they seem to flex in that car, which is the stepway. Even though I've debadged the stepway stickers because they look stupid. But if I did that, I'd be scared of snapping the ones in there. But this one, it feels a bit more beefier, more designed for a bit more ruggedness. So whether they've like taken customer feedback and actually taken that on board, maybe that's why. Obviously I've not got the electric mirrors, no eco switch. This is a petrol, not diesel. Petrol with LPG there is. No reverse sensor switch, but I have got reverse sensors, and I'm going to see about putting a switch. But to be honest, it was more of a hassle than anything, because I'd like my reverse sensors to be wired to the reverse light and just always come on no matter what. So I don't need that. I'll put it on the reverse light, put a fuse back there, and job will be a good one. So basically, like this video is actually meant about, you know, I'm doing a little review, and that it is back on straight in, easy as pie. Although I am tempted to see about taking these off when I take it off next, to see about getting the silver trimmed ones. They feel like they'll just pop out. But I'm scared because I don't want to break my new car. Even though it's a shitty car, it's a Dacia, but it's my new car. So stay tuned, keep watching, and hopefully by the end of the month, depending on how long this kit and all that takes, so I've got to buy the trim for a square double din, so it'll be a load of plastic crappy stuff, because nobody seems to want to make an entire fascia plate for a double din for this car yet. I've seen some for single din, but not a double din. If you do know where I can get a double din one within the next week of posting, so I'll be buying it soon, then let me know. See you in the next one.